Hello everyone, this is Jan van der A from Language Boost, and today we're still here in Bangkok in Thailand, where I'm on a mission to reach a conversational level in Thai in only 21 days. Now, motivation is a very important thing in language learning. With a lack of motivation, you're probably not going to learn a language, you're probably not going to become fluent. So the question is, how can you stay motivated? I think the question you should ask yourself in the first place is, do you really want to learn the language? Do you really need it in life? Is it really going to make your life better? I think it depends on the role that you want to fulfill in society or within a company. Also depends on what your passions are. And I think not for all people learning another language is the solution to. Well, I don't think it's necessary for everyone. Let's put it this way. So I recently met this guy, and he asked me. He said, "Jan, why do you want everyone to learn a language?" I said, "I don't care. I mean, people can do whatever they want, but for some people, learning another language can be a very rewarding thing to do." So I share, if you follow me on Facebook, I share what I do with languages. I travel a lot, and if you feel inspired by that, you can, hopefully you do, you can decide to learn a language as well. But if it's not necessary, if it's not going to help you further in life, then, spend your time on other things. Well, how can you find out if learning a language is worth it for you? I recently wrote this blog post with 3 questions you can ask yourself in order to answer this question. The first question is, how is the language going to change your life? It's a big question, so you should make a list with at least, I would say, 10 good reasons why you want to learn the language and how it's going to change your life. Maybe you're going to move to another country, maybe you're already living in another country, maybe you have a partner who speaks another language and you want to be able to communicate to her family who don't speak English or whatever your native language is. It's a very personal thing, this list. The reasons should be very personal actually, but you should know wherefore you do it, because learning a language takes a lot of time and a lot of hard work. Okay, so ask yourself these 3 questions. How is it going to change my life? Do I have the time, or am I willing to make the time? And am I willing to put in the hard work? If you want to read more about this, I wrote a blog post about it. Link will be somewhere here. So if the answer is yes, if you really want to learn the language, then of course in the first place you already have the motivation, but then you also should try to keep that motivation, of course. And you can do that by doing several things. You can learn a language with someone else, with a good friend. I have a good friend, Brian Kwong. He organizes the At One Challenge, which is basically an online community of people that learn the language together. Don't have to do it online. I'm a big fan of online learning, but you can also do it, I don't know, whatever works for you. But if you find people, if you surround yourself with people on the same mission, it's really going to help you. This is not only in language learning, this is basically in everything in life, but you can also apply this to language learning. Socialize in a language as well, so go to the internet, surf on the internet, look for local meetups, language exchanges, where you can meet native speakers. So that you can practice your language and also create friendships with people that speak that language. The social aspect is also always very important for me. If language is a social thing, you really have to connect to the people. Traveling, you can go to the country. That's what I'm doing now. I often hear, "Jan, why are you taking online classes in Thailand? Why don't you go to a language school?" Well, for me, I think it's very practical. I mean, I don't have to travel through Bangkok. Bangkok is a very busy city, so I find it very convenient to do it at home. It's also very flexible. But the good thing is that I can use the things I learn right away with taxi drivers, in restaurants, with the people that I meet here. So traveling can be a motivation a motivation boost. Oh yeah, and then making progress actually can also be very motivational. So if you work hard in the beginning and you make progress, you start actually feeling that you're doing something useful, something you're good at, and that leads to more motivation. So if you start learning a new language, then make sure that you are serious from day one. That way you make fast progress, and that progress is going to make you more, is going to give you more motivation to keep going. Actually, this here is something you do after you've decided that you want to learn a language, and it's setting goals. So what do you exactly want to do in the language? Do you just want to pass a test? Are you going to travel? Do you need it for work? Do you need to read the language? You want to read the books? Is it the social things for you? So decide what you want to do with it, and then how you're going to reach that. So let's say you want to be able to hold a 15-minute conversation in Spanish. That can be a realistic goal. And then that's the big goal, but then also set mini goals. And mini goals can be to take 5 Spanish classes per week, and also study 2 hours by yourself with a specific resource. So make sure that your goals are specific, your mini goals, and your long-term goal as well, by the way. So come with a game plan. Come with a good game plan. I'm in Thailand now learning Thai. My game plan is that I take 1 Thai lesson every day online, and that I study 1 hour by myself with Vocab Booster. And now this week I also started with using blogs. So how can you stay motivated? Well, ask yourself in the first place if you really want to learn another language, if you're really going to need it for life, if it's really going to contribute to your long-time personal goals. Then the answer might be yes. So ask yourself these 3 questions. How is it going to change your life? Are you willing to make the time for it? And are you willing to put in some hard work? And then set goals. Be very specific about which levels you want to reach and what you're going to do with the language. And once you have find that out, then come with a game plan, which means like step by step, which is basically a study schedule. So it can be language lessons, it can be going through a language book. And then during the learning process, make sure that you have fun. Look for other people that are on the same mission as you are. Socialize, find native speakers. And make sure you work hard from the beginning so that you make progress. Because, as I just explained, making progress in the beginning is going to give you even more motivation. I hope that this was a useful video. If you have any questions, feel free to ask me in the comments below. And let me know how you stay motivated in language learning. We'll be happy to hear from you. See you tomorrow.